What's going on, YouTubers? Welcome to another video. We're going to go ahead and do another re-review today. As of right now, Ganondorf tracking has not been updated. I'm honestly surprised it's taking this long. Must be due to the holidays. I have been meaning to wall mount that alien poster right there. I have to buy a nicer frame, one that matches the Predator. I'm going to do it. I've just been real busy with work. Work has been going extremely good for Flankster. I am top shark. I've been making a ton of sales, and I have a few sales this week I potentially could get that could literally fund almost an entire statue room. It's that big and colossal. So keep your fingers crossed that Flankster closes these ginormous deals, because you can buy a lot of statues, folks. Anyways, let's get to it. So we're going to go ahead and re-review the Reaper Maquette. I did the Reaper bust previously. Now we're going to do the Maquette along with the Reaper placard. So this was my first ECC third scale statue. I actually got this, I got the bust first, then I bought this. I paid $2,500 as mint condition, still is. The placard had some issues, some cracks and issues. It was like $500 off Pop Culture. This one, I think I got it off eBay if I remember correctly. And as far as I know, the going price right now is still around $2,500. So let's talk about it, see if it still holds up to today's standards, and if it's still worth that. So for the base, big circular base, about a foot in diameter. You have obviously the Blade 2 logo. And if you have not seen Blade, I highly recommend it. It's a fantastic movie. I do think the second one is the best. I enjoy all three. But for me personally, the second one just had the best all-star cast, best action, best villain. So on this base, you do have a human, no, that's a vampire. It's a vampire head that's been decapitated. Eyes are looking up, blood coming out of the mouth. Go ahead and check out that. Just guts coming out, blood pouring down. Extremely cool decapitated vampire head. So I like that. The blood effect is amazing. Really well done. Then you have all these vampire hieroglyphics and sort of like cracks and different design. I think it looks really cool. It does have a light up base. It basically pulsates blue. I never turn it on. It doesn't add a ton to the statue. It is a cool feature, but it's not really necessary. So I've plugged it in like twice, but I don't even keep the plug-in over here. It's not something like Godzilla vs. Kong that's like a game changer for the statue. Certain statues like that, the light up is game changer. This one doesn't do much for me. It's cool, but yeah. So overall, for the base, I mean, it is a simplistic base. I do love the fact it has that severed head. If it didn't have that, I would give it a lower score, but I'd probably give this a 7.5 out of 10 for the base. Now for me, the best bases that ECC has ever done, hands down, are these three: Freddy, Jason, and Pennywise. Those are the three best bases. After that, it's probably the Predator. Yeah, I'd say those are my top four favorite bases from the 1/3s. But this base is decent. I do like it. It's not horrible. It's not amazing. Like, this base to me is a 10 out of 10 base. Far better, cooler base. This is much simplistic, but it does match like the whole line. So coming up to the Reaper himself, this is fully sculpted boots. They look amazing. And then he has like real leather. Like, this feels like real leather to me. For the pants. So this is not the main Reaper. It is just like a Reaper from the movie. The main one, I forget his name, was it like... It's not Jared, is it? But it's not the main Reaper. I kind of wish they did do that one, but this still works good. The design is freaking amazing. This is a movie by Guillermo del Toro, and it also reminds me a lot of the TV series The Strain. If you've ever seen that, very similar concept of vampires that open their mouth and have these like things coming out to suck the blood. Very similar concept. So the mixed media is excellent, very high quality, lots of chains right here, and these are real metal, has like a little cross symbol. Excellent detail. There's also a cross right here, that's real metal attached, and that is a real necklace. This, that is sculpted on but these are real necklaces. This is a real necklace, but it's glued on, so you can't really move that. But that is, as you can see, I can move a little bit. Necklaces. They just glued them on. They did a great job hiding the glue as well, so you can't really tell that it's glued. Because I've seen some nasty glue jobs on necklaces. ECC did a great job. There's not really a QC issue with this piece. So when you come to the upper body, you do have a real metal, I can't really move it, but that is a real metal thing they inserted into his nipple. The upper body is absolutely phenomenal. It has a crazy good amount of just texture, details, blood, veins. The veins are just really cool. You see throughout the head. On the back of it, let me show it to you from back here. It does have this design along with like this acid coming out, which is part of their design. So really, really cool. Super like ripped because he's like starving for the most part. These were like starving vampires. They just weren't surviving because they were a bad breed. But the best thing about this, hands down, is that portrait. That portrait is crazy good. Also, the hands look really freaking cool. The way they did the fingernails, it looks like it's a separate thing they attached and painted. It looks really nice. But the portrait is the star of the show. Unfortunately, it does not have glass eyes. That is the one downfall. Back then, because this is a much, this is a very old piece. They didn't do glass eyes just yet on the bust or the 1/3. Like this, no glass eyes. They believe the first glass eye statues they made was actually Freddy and Jason. And for the bust was Marcus. He has glass eyes. Like Lycan doesn't have glass eyes, but Marcus got it, and then Freddy, Jason, and everything onwards all got the glass eye treatment. And now I do believe for a 1/3, this is some of the best painted eyes out there. It's hard to tell that this is not glass eyes. As you can see, that is extremely well painted. The little red veins, the pupils, the gloss, it is extremely good. Like far superior than I would say Prime 1 or PCS when it comes to 1/3 eyes. And this is a very old piece. I would say this is at least 10 years old. And it still is better than the majority of Prime 1 and PCS statues that ship nowadays. Now, Prime 1's definitely improved. Theirs are so good nowadays. PCS still really needs to work on their eyes. They're very lifeless, especially like my most recent Candyman. When you compare his eyes to Reaper, both being painted, this is 10 times better in my opinion. The depth, the way they painted it, just far superior. So the mouth looks crazy cool. The teeth look excellent. They're dirty, grimy. Looks like he has some cavities. Tons of blood dripping down. Then you have that. Kind of reminds me of the Star Wars Return of the Jedi sand hole where they have the monster eating you. But the mouth is just crazy cool. It's absolutely insane. So the portrait is without a doubt one of the coolest portraits on any 1/3 scale statue I own. Only a few can rival this, such as Predator, Aliens, like in a Marcus, Pennywise. Like those are the type of statues that I consider can rival this. But this is for sure one of the best portraits on any of my 1/3 scale statues. So concept overall, I'd probably give it 8 out of 10. Paint and detail, 9.5 out of 10. Overall statue rating, goodness gracious. I mean, I still consider this a 10 out of 10 piece. I really do. I freaking love it. It is so freaking awesome. Is it worth $2,500? I mean, that is up to you. For me, yes, I still think it is. Still think it's worth that. It's very rare. I think there's 300 in the world. Let's see. I'm looking at my COA. Mio Nakamura is the one that sculpted this, which is Steve Wing's wife. Yeah, it's I got number 105 of 300. Now, when it comes to the Reaper placard, I do really like it behind the Reaper. I would never buy that on its own. I would never consider it. But as a companion piece to this, showing the transformation of the Reaper from standard vampire to semi-mouth open to much more open, and that's more similar to my life-size bust right there. As you can see, that is like the third form of the transformation, and then this is the final transformation where the mouth is much more open. So, and then it has, of course, all those hieroglyphs on the side, cracks and everything, Blade 2 logo, wall mounted, probably weighs 10 pounds, 15 pounds, resin made. It looks cool. I like it. It's pretty big. It's nearly 3 feet tall. It's 1/3 scale, all those heads. So that head at the top is the exact same height, size as this. So, yeah, it's all one color, so it's not painted. Would have been cool if it was painted as well. Imagine that. But for what it is, I think it's pretty awesome. I like it, especially with this. I think it's a great companion piece. Not a must-have, but definitely enhances the overall display. For that piece, I would probably give it a 7 out of 10 overall. In terms of price, what would I pay for this? Like I said, I paid around $500. I would pay $800 max, in my opinion. That's what I value it at. $800. If you're desperate, $1,000. I would never pay more than $1,000 for it. I do believe it's limited to like $300 as well. It's a very low edition size. So I pretty much never see it for sale. I rarely see any of these for sale, to be honest. Most people that get ECC statues don't sell them because they're that good. So it's very rare that you see someone selling them. Only when someone's like going through financial crisis or they're deciding, I want to get out of statue collecting, do you ever see them for sale. You rarely see them for sale like, hey, I'm upgrading my statue, sell this out. I highly doubt we're ever going to see another Reaper statue out there. Maybe PCS would do it, but I can tell you now, they would not do it as good as this. They definitely would not. Anyways, folks, let me know what you think of the Reaper Maquette. That's what they call it, Maquette, 1/3 scale statue with the placard. And see you guys in the next one. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day.